Hi everyone, what's up? Joshua here from Alternative Brewing, and today I'm going to be walking us through tamping. Tamping like you mean it, and like it makes a huge difference to the espresso you're going to be brewing, and also tamping whether you're doing it 100 or 300 times a day, or tamping if you're just going to be doing it once or twice. Now, learning a new technique is not going to come naturally, so this is something that you're going to want to practice and keep doing until it starts to feel right. And the truth is, there is more than one right way to tamp correctly, but a whole lot many more ways to be tamping incorrectly. And a reoccurring theme in this step of tamping is evenness. So let's begin by adding coffee into our basket, and we'll go from there. So as you can see, the grinder has given us grounds within the basket that are heavily centered in the middle of the basket. And this is something that we're going to want to smooth out, flatten down, and make even before we go ahead and tamp. Now, if we went ahead and tamped on an uneven surface like this, it's going to create an area within the tamped grounds in the middle that is more densely compacted than the outer area, and water will be forced under pressure to pass through the outer coffee before making its way through the middle. And this leads to uneven extraction of your coffee, which we certainly don't want. So let's knock this out and we'll start again. Now, it's not within this video that we'll be exploring distribution methods and the tools for this, which is a precursor to tamping, but it's not in everyone's bag of tools either to be doing this every day. So from here, I found either tapping the portafilter on the forks of the grinder or gently on the bench settles those grounds fine. But you could also add some side knocks to the portafilter, and this also does help move those grounds around more evenly laterally. With the surface of the grounds now nice and even, we're ready to pick up our tamper. And the best tamper is going to be the one that fits your filter basket perfectly, with very little to no gap at all around the outside. And again, we want the tamp head of the tamper to be in contact with the complete surface of the grounds all at once. Otherwise, we do end up with uneven densities within the grounds again, which leads to a poor extraction. Now, there are some portafilters that will be level when you place them down on the bench. And then there are others that aren't so level, and you'll have to use the edge of your bench to rest the portafilter on. And the aim during tamping here is to keep that group handle as level as possible whilst tamping. All right, now we can get into the good stuff. From here, I'm going to turn my body 90 degrees to the bench so that my tamping shoulder is now closest to the bench. And I'm going to pick up the tamper as if I were picking it up out of my pocket. Now, if you're not too sure what that means, just go ahead now and place your tamper in your pocket. When you do lift it up, your palm and the inside of your wrist will be facing towards you. And you've picked up the tamp head, not the handle, with your thumb and pointer finger. You can wrap the other fingers around it and rest it in your palm, but these two fingers are going to come in nice and handy for sensing a level tamp later on. So if you haven't turned your body completely perpendicular to the bench already, this next step is going to feel a little bit awkward on your body. Also, stepping out from the bench a tiny bit is going to help along with this as well. So keeping your wrist turned inwards and towards you, we're just going to bend our elbow and then rotate it upwards so we have a 90-degree angle here, as if we're taking something now out of our jacket pocket. Now, if you feel like your elbow won't rotate that far, which is the most common feedback I get, turn your body around a little bit more. And if it's in the wrist and it feels like it's getting bent back too far, then give that space between you and the bench a little bit more and step away. So what we aim to do here is to complete a straight line running from the top of your elbow through your wrist and by extension into the tamper, and then adding force without having to bend your wrist at all. As if it was between your shoulder, your elbow and your wrist. It's definitely your wrist that is the more fragile joint whilst tamping, so we do want to protect your wrist from absorbing any unnecessary force. Having a bend in your wrist, which most often occurs when tamping with your palm facing outwards, if done with enough force or repetitiveness, could cause injury or worse, RSI, which is an injury but so much worse. So we've gotten to this point and now we're ready to press. I'm going to use those 2 fingers holding the tamp head as a cue to feel the sides of the filter basket, and this should give you a good indication of how level you are going in. You can also quickly remove your hand for a visual inspection to see how the tamper is resting on the grounds and then make any adjustments if needed. So next, using strength alone to add force to the tamping, it's not going to work. So you want to bend your knees and then raise that inside foot, the one that's closest to the bench, ever so slightly so your weight begins to lean into the bench. And that's where you're going to get that extra force without having to overexert yourself. Now, so long as you have a level portafilter and a parallel tamper, you're always going to get a level and even tamp. Now, we can talk about kilograms of pressure all we want, but this way is going to get you the most consistent tamp each time. And that's how a pro barista tamps. Give it a polish if you want, then give it a clean around the lugs, and then you're done. From here, we've locked in those coffee grounds nice and tight into the filter basket. As compact as they are though, any bumps or knocks to the portafilter from here will break apart that bind, and you'll be lucky if you tamp it again with a good result in the espresso. If I was in a commercial environment, now it seems like a long-winded way to explain it, I totally get it, but some have even said that it's improved their golf swing. Practice to perfection, this is going to allow you to brew consistently great coffee and protect you from injury. So don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for further tips and tricks and weekly product videos. Thanks for watching to the end of this video, and we'll see you in the next one.